He looked at me, startled, almost confused, and said, "Dad, I wasn't expecting you for Christmas." That sentence broke something inside me. I stood there on his porch, holding a pie your mother used to bake every year, wrapped in a tea towel that still smelled like cinnamon. Snow clung to my boots. My hands trembled, not from age, but from something else, something colder. You see, after Martha passed, Christmas lost its light. The tree stood? Yes, but dimmer. The ornaments didn't sparkle the same. But this year, I told myself you have a son, a family, you won't be alone. I sold a few old tools to get the train ticket. It took 2 buses to reach the station from my quiet, creaking house. But I did it. I made the journey, because I believed, deep down, no father should spend Christmas alone. But his words, "I wasn't expecting you," weren't cruel, just hollow, as if he'd already packed away whatever remained of me into a dusty box in his attic. He let me in, eventually. His house smelled different, sterile. No burnt cookies, no pine, just vanilla air freshener and faint baby powder. My grandson was asleep. I saw a picture of him on the mantel. I wasn't in it. His wife offered me tea, but didn't sit down. She kept glancing at the clock. The walls felt like strangers, like they could speak, but chose not to. I noticed the gifts under the tree. None said Grandpa. I'd brought my own wrapped gift, a hand-carved train set, the kind I made for my boy when he was 3. I had spent weeks on it, each wheel sanded, each detail painted, but I knew, even before I handed it over, he wouldn't understand the language I carved into that wood. Over dinner, we talked about the weather, the mortgage, work, nothing about Mom, nothing about us, just facts, like reading headlines to avoid the real story underneath. I stayed the night in the guest room. The bed was stiff. So was my heart. At 2 a.m., I sat in the dark, opened my wallet, and stared at an old photo of him 5 years old, on my shoulders, holding a candy cane.
By morning, I'd made up my mind. I placed a note on the kitchen table. I thought family mattered more than comfort. Maybe I was wrong. "Merry Christmas anyway," I'd add. Then I walked out. I didn't go to the station. I walked. For hours. My knees ached, but I didn't feel it. I passed glowing windows, laughter inside homes I didn't know, and realized I was more present in those lives than in my own son's. When I returned home, my phone buzzed. It was the bank. They said, "Your mortgage payment is overdue." And I said, "That's fine. Cancel it." The silence that followed felt liberating. I'd rather lose the house than lose my self-worth. Trying to be somewhere I wasn't wanted, I took the train set out of my bag. I placed it under my old tree, alone, but not empty, because that night I sat with Martha's photo. And for the first time in years, I let myself cry, not because I was lonely, but because I chose myself. Weeks passed. Then came the knock. It was my son, face pale, eyes red. "Dad," he began, voice cracking. "I found your note. I didn't know how far gone I'd gotten. I was trying so hard to be a father, I forgot how to be a son." Behind him stood my grandson, holding the train. He ran to me, shouting, "Grandpa! It moves!" I knelt down, held him, and something thawed. Sometimes it takes walking away to remind people where home really is. I didn't cancel the mortgage to make a point. I did it because I realized no roof is worth more than self-respect. But life, funny as it is, gave me back more than I lost. The Christmas wasn't the one I imagined. It was better, because in the silence, love finally found its voice.